Sorry, my friend.
I don't know what you're apologizing for, but there's probably a long list here.
Just a general all-out apology.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to the Bob and Mike cast. I am Mike Kaczmarczyk. I'm here with fellow realtor Bob Greenlaw.
Hey, everybody.
And we are broadcasting from our GK Real Estate Team studios.
Great name.
Down in downtown Northville.
Great name, buddy. Great name. GK Studios.
Yeah, I guess until we get another sponsor.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, until we
Good
pick up one of the automakers, right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good? You look good.
Thanks.
I
feel good.
Wide awake.
I'm up. Yeah, I feel like I've had plenty of coffee today, which today I did half of what I normally do.
Half?
So far.
A half a coffee, okay.
Half coffee.
Did you do half calf?
Well, you know how like your tumbler there is like a big one?
Yes.
I have like half, the size is half of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've had.
Okay. That won't even get me out of the bed in the morning.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I need at least that. That's the starter.
You need at least two tumblers going.
That is the start, and then we see where we go.
Yeah.
We see how the day is going. Some days I need more.
I was watching a movie last night, and the movie just the name passes me, but it was the new with Austin Kutcher.
Aston Kutcher.
Yeah, Aston Kutcher,
Mm-hmm.
however you say his name.
Mm-hmm. Punked.
What's that?
From Punked
Punt.
to Punked. Punk. MTV?
Oh, yeah.
You got punked?
Yeah.
Punked.
Let's make sure I'm not getting punked. No, we were watching his new movie, and I think Reese Witherspoon. I mean, I know I'm having such a complicated. I'm horrible with names, so
yes, mm-hmm.
I hate to mention people's names because I murder people's names. I always forget. Anyway, yeah, she's in it. Anyway,
the point's
good movie.
coming across.
Yeah, really good movie, cute movie, and I don't remember where I was going with this, but
you were watching a movie last night,
and it reminded me of you.
Okay,
because there's a character in it who's always drinking coffee.
Okay, I didn't know where you're going with that.
And at some point, this character says, "Man, I've had so many of these. I just, I know so many times where we go through the day, and you will get like towards the end of the day, you'll be like, oh man, I either need another coffee or I need a nap.
Yeah, one of the two. I can go either way.
Yeah,
either way. But
anyway, that was funny. We were sitting back talking about it this last night, and it just reminded me. You always had a coffee in their hand and chugging them back.
Oh man,
you need at least two to get started.
Yeah, and so I was on my way here today, and I'm driving down 8 Mile. I don't know. Tell me if you've ever had this, right? Where the speed limit's 45. Okay,
everyone's doing 60.
No, the opposite. And I'm not trying to get here like Mario Andretti. I'm not trying to break any records. I'm just trying to get here. Right. So I'm driving on 8 Mile, and I have two cars in front of me. Nobody in front of them, and they're both going 35, 37, right? And they're staggered, but not staggered enough where I can get past them.
Yeah, you can't do the slip.
Yeah, so I try to. I'm back and forth trying to find my way to weave in that little crevice right there to find the open road. And so I'm playing the game where, the car in the right lane is a little bit further ahead. So I get there and I'm trying to push him. I'm not
trying
too
to see if he'll jump. Trying to see if he'll go faster. Yeah, sure.
I'm NASCAR drafting on this guy.
Great move, by the way.
But I'm just trying to give a little shove. Hey, speed it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So not working, right?
Right.
And as I'm trying to do this, I notice the car to my left. As I pull up, they speed up.
Yeah.
So there's a little competition now.
There's a little jerk move coming.
And I'm realizing that, they don't want me to get over.
No.
They're just enjoying their day.
Yeah.
I don't know if they notice me or not, but whatever it is, they're trying to keep me from that left lanes. So I back off, right? I back off just a little, just enough.
I can just see you driving the car right now because I've been with you so many times where this has happened.
And I'm totally calm, right?
Yeah, for sure. You're so calm at this point that there's birds whispering in the background.
I'm not getting excited at all. Anyway.
No, not at all. You're just like waiting for the moment. Yeah, you're probably like literally about to jump out the window at this point.
So here's the move I pull, right?
Uh-oh, here we go.
So I back off, right? The car in the right lane's a little bit in front. I back off. So I slow down.
Okay.
So now I'm going probably like 30 because these guys are not.
On a 50. Yes,
45. And they have no intention of speeding up. Well, finally, this car realizes in the left that I'm not a threat anymore and starts to slow down. And just enough.
You just
enough. boom, and I slid right in there, and I probably ruined their day. But you know what? I got here.
So you're doing a little, so you're doing a little Days of Thunder action this morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A cold trickle.
Yeah, absolutely. I literally cannot stand when someone gets in front of you and then just goes slower than the speed limit. Now, listen, I understand people get nervous and they're entitled to do whatever they want.
Yeah, for sure.
And but
just stagger. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
just give a little space.
Yeah,
you know.
And I the thing I was talking about with my kids just the other night was courtesy, right?
Exactly.
Like if you're driving next to someone and you realize you're window to window for like a few seconds, one of you gotta give, right?
Awareness.
And if you're aware, like, oh, I'm looking to my right and there's a car there, ooh, geez, and it's been there a couple seconds, I'm gonna speed up or slow down.
For sure.
And look in my rearview mirror because there's probably people like you coming right up the tail going, hey, one of you got to move. I got to get going.
And we're all in this together.
And who am I to tell someone, okay, first of all, you were going below the speed limit. But even if you were doing the speed limit, still, who am I to tell someone who's got to get somewhere they can't do 100? They can do whatever they want.
Wow. Not legally.
Well, I'm just saying they can do whatever they want.
They can do.
They can risk getting a ticket.
You can make choices.
You can make choices.
Yeah.
The car will go wherever you want it to go, per se. Right.
Well, you are in control of the car.
Right.
For now.
But my point is, in your case, they weren't going the speed limit.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that. But if they were, and you still, let's say you were late getting here and you just wanted to, push it a little bit, you run the risk of getting a ticket.
Exactly.
Right? Doesn't always happen, but you always run the risk. If you stay under the speed limit or the speed limit, you run no risk of getting a ticket unless your taillights are out.
It's part of being an adult, right?
Yeah, it's just the choices we make. Yeah. But be courteous. If you're rolling up on someone, even if you're rolling up on someone, this is where Europe's got it down pat.
Okay, Autobahn type stuff.
Well, it's not even Autobahn. It's just the way they drive. They're very aggressive drivers. People will say they're aggressive. I would say the contra. I would say they're more defensive, but aggressive at the same time. It's almost weird because they foresee things coming. Like they don't react to the situation. They're already reacting before the situation started. So like you're coming up on somebody in Italy, and you're driving on them and you're clearly going way fast. You're already shooting brights at them.
So you're saying they're playing shots, we're playing checkers over here.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying. Oh, that's a bold statement.
I'm not saying they're better because that's not it. And we're not running stats. I'm sure there's way more deaths in Europe considering their streets are little. Yeah. Right. It's not competition. It's just, I'm saying, like, I have so many times driven on someone, give them the flashlights, like, hey, can you get out of my way? And I get the finger.
Probably deservedly so.
Why?
Well, I mean,
get out of the way.
But you're flashing.
I'm not. Right? I'm flashing because you're not getting out of the way.
And flashing?
I'll beep if I get right up on their bumper.
Now, will you do the heavy beep?
No, just
kind of like the
little
hey,
beep beep, little tap,
look,
beep beep.
Just get it going a little bit.
Bro, I do it on my Vespa. Yeah. I know, you laugh.
Well, I'm just thinking of that horn.
No,
that's a really high pitch.
And I'll do it right in there, like, hey, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I do it because I want you to know I'm here.
For sure.
But that's like the etiquette you learn when you drive in European conditions where there's so many people, so many cars. You have to learn how to get in and out of things,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
cool. Anyway, well, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was driving to Dearborn. Okay.
Yeah.
And I won't get into that whole story of how I got there and the problems I had on Southville Freeway. But anyway, you want to talk about Autobahn style Southville Freeway, man. It's just a free for all. It's just, you have some people going 90 and you have other people going 40. It's just, and
but
it's
again,
so tight.
You want to go 40, get to the right, go 40.
Just be courteous.
Be courteous.
Be courteous and aware. That's all. That's all.
90% of most problems, I would guess, are fixed by just thinking courteous.
Yes.
Oh, you cut somebody off, give them a wave like, oh, yeah, I know I'm a jerk. I'm sorry. I do that. I do that.
Yeah.
You know me, right?
I've seen you cut people off.
I don't even think about it. Or I get right up on their bumper and then I make the switch, right? That's
the slow play move. There you go.
Yeah, but if people are watching me they might freak out, hit the brake at the last second. Now I'm eating their bumper, right? I'm taking for granted. I'm thinking they're just going to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just get too close. I don't leave enough room. Those times, like, and then you see them give me the finger. I wave and be like, yeah, this one, you know what? You're right. I am. That's jerk move, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I accept that. And I give the courtesy wave, like, yeah, I'm a jerk. I'm going to slow down. Sorry. In a hurry. No one's excuse, whatever. But,
you admit your mistakes. When you're wrong.
When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. And you know that.
You man,
very rare.
That's it.
It's rare.
I've done something wrong.
It's rare.
I'm the bad guy.
Look at me.
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm wrong. This is what wrong looks like.
Everybody say hello to the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone come down, say you're wrong, put it in my face. Yeah. No, I'm that guy. Yeah.
Anyways, back to I was
Yeah, so you were saying something in Dearborn, yeah.
So so we had a house listed and we sold it, right?
Yeah.
And this house had it was built in 1950, like most homes in that area. Well, they range, but
was this down by the hospital area?
Beaumont used to be Oakwood.
Yeah.
And the furnace was original. And I went down there and this is not uncommon in that area.
Yeah.
1950 original furnace, and the thing is taller than me.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It takes up the entire utility room, right?
Yeah.
Still running. It was still running.
Wow.
And they had the city came out, they did the salt test, they made sure the furnace was working, everything was fine, right? And then yesterday I was in the house next door because they called, they wanted us to sell that house as well. And I went down to the basement. Sure enough, exact same furnace from 1950.
That's rare.
In working condition. No need to change it.
No kidding.
Yeah. So what do furnaces last? What do they say? Like new ones? You put a new one in?
Well, let's just put it this way. At my old house, I don't know how old it was, but it was replaced by me. At my current house, I've replaced 2 of the 3 already. And that's a house that was built in 04. So
yeah. So
this is built in 1950.
15 years.
Yeah.
Somewhere they say that's about the life of a
15
furnace.
to 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as a roof.
Yeah. And this house is built in 1950. They've had some work done on the furnace.
Sure.
But other than that, original furnace.
Yeah, but is it efficient?
Probably not.
That's the thing, right?
It's the size of size of a bathroom. That's
how they sell it to us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this thing here is not efficient. You're just burning up gas.
But that was built to last.
That's the thing.
And I feel like these efficient furnaces are more disposable.
Finicky?
Maybe. 15 years and that's it.
I'm wondering, does the cost and savings over the life, dictate the cost of the replacement after so many years?
Oh, the cost to run a furnace that size?
That'd be cool to know.
I don't know.
Someone do the math.
Yeah. I'll leave that to you.
No, I'm not.
Why don't you go run some numbers?
I'm not a numbers guy.
Run some numbers, get back to you.
I don't do that.
I'm sure there's
I
some
can give you the quick number thing. I
Mhm.
can do that whole fast calculate thing in my head, but I'm not breaking down, trigonometry and all that stuff. There's no way I can't get into all that.
Yeah, and I don't know what the exact break-even point is, but I'm sure they're past it.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Like are these the original owners? The last ones were original owners. So
they've been there a while.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they're original, but they're pretty close to original
probably
owners.
bought in the 70s or something like that. So where the furnace was already 20 years old.
20 years old and probably still going strong.
Sure.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Who knows?
That's crazy. And then being in Dearborn, you know how they used to have the old incinerators in the chimney, remember? And then then you have them all welded off, and now obviously can't use it. But we were at that one that had not only the original furnace, remember? Well, no, it was a changed furnace, but it had a working incinerator. And we hadn't seen that. We've always seen them welded and stuff, but we never saw it working. And this thing was actually like...
Those are the cool houses. I like going through houses like that, like old houses that have things that, that are really not operational anymore, but it just kind of gives you like a history lesson.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't using it, but they could have. And they could have literally lit the, thing. No, I'm just saying.
Let's hope they're not using the incinerator.
Well, the house was, if I remember correctly, it had been vacated by an elderly family member that passed or something. So when the family got it or whatever, and then, had done the cleaning out, whatever, they go downstairs and here we are at this incinerator and they're like, oh, well, people will love having it. And so I'm like, actually, no, Dearborn is not going to allow that to stay. So you are going to have to weld it or tear it out or whatever they make you do now. So,
yeah,
and I don't remember what their course of action was, but I know we had to do something.
So, we grew up in Dearborn Heights, and so very familiar with Dearborn. We're down there a lot. And well, just one of the coolest things, I love this area, but I drove past it, the Ford Historic District.
Oh, you are crazy with that area.
Off Michigan Avenue. Anyways, so I went by and I just, I'm like,
you always wanted to like move there at one. Well, not maybe
cool
there,
houses,
but you always
that
liked
area.
Yeah.
I like the look, right? So,
yeah.
So
yeah, that's funny.
So here's what happened, right? There was during World War I, I believe, there was an issue with farming and tractors or something, whatever. There was a reason that Henry Ford was called on to build tractors. Okay. Did you know this?
I know I have one. I have a 1939 at the property. So yeah, I know they built tractors. Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't know the why, but
yeah. So in the early 1900s,
he built everything else. I guess why not? If I had four wheels, they called him, I'm sure.
Yeah. So what they did is they built tractors in the Fordson tractor plant.
Okay.
Which is why Fordson High School, the mascot is the tractors, right?
Okay.
So they were having a hard time getting workforce for this area. So what his secretary came up with this. They said, you should build a neighborhood where your employees can stay so they don't have to drive. They were driving, a crazy amount to get to work, and they were having a hard time keeping these employees.
Yeah, because roads weren't really probably super efficient until you got closer to the plants, right?
Yeah, and the rent in Dearborn at the time was way up there. And
I just got a comment. With all of this technology in here, you're seriously thumbing through paperwork.
I printed it out. I thought it was so cool.
I mean, we actually printed stuff and we're thumbing through paperwork over here. You're bringing out paperwork. I'm literally on shock and awe at this point.
Hey, man. You should never be shocked anymore.
You are so old school. You are so dinosaur. It's not even funny.
Anyway, so I'm a dinosaur. Yeah,
you're a dinosaur, man. You brought out paper and pencil and you're circling. Well, you want a highlighter?
Here, let me grab this encyclopedia over here.
Yeah, would you like me to grab my highlighter?
No, you see, I went to the library and I printed this. No.
I mean, my goodness. Oh my God. I can't even believe you I'm watching this. I'm like, why are they thumbing through paperwork? Okay. Sorry.
I wanted to have it right here because I thought it was cool. I wanted to tell you these stats,
No, I understand. I get it.
I did some research. Okay.
I appreciate the research, but listen, you got wires, laptop. Bro, I'm literally looking at your laptop. You have a laptop iPhone. I have some kind of crazy Samsung phone. We have all this technology, and at a click, we could get the answer to all this stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Print.
Print it. Well, print doesn't fail, right?
Print, circle, point, and say, hey. Because you were looking this stuff up this morning. I remember you had told me because we were on the phone.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, man, I was driving through Dearborn. I'm looking this up because I'm curious. And I'm like, wow, what a good thing to shoot down. So, yeah. So
okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think
problem.
it's hysterical that you're printing stuff and, we're supposed to be in the modern age. And, oh, Lord, here we are.
Yeah.
Paper man. I call you paper boy.
Can I start now? Can I talk? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So let me read off this paper. Let me read this for you.
You want some? You need eyeglasses?
No, here, listen. So 1915, okay. Right?
Yeah.
They finally built this, Henry Ford and Son tractor plant, right? The Fordson tractor plant. It's now where the Ford engineering lab is right there anyway. But so he had 400 employees, needed a place for them because they were living in Detroit, but they were, it's not easy to get from Detroit to Dearborn at that time. And the rent in Dearborn was $75 a month, which was really high at the time, right?
Right.
So, and so they'd spend a half hour each day taking the Detroit Railroad streetcar to get from Detroit to Dearborn, which was a problem, right? So what he did is the secretary had an idea.
Well, sure didn't promote Henry Ford's car theory if you're having your people being trained in. Yeah.
Yeah. So secretary said, why don't you build a community? And so he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to be associated with it in case,
things
if the project failed, he didn't want to have his name on housing because what do I know about housing,
Sure.
right? So Anyways, he said that he would do it as long as the houses should look different from each other. So he didn't want to do the cookie cutter, which is weird for him, right? Because he liked it, the Model T. You can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Oh yeah.
So he wasn't much for customization, but he wanted each house to look different. So not the same. So he had models A through F. That sounds like him, right? And they all were just a little bit different characteristics. But so he wanted them to be built with high quality materials, and he wanted them to be affordable.
So who do you put in charge of it?
So he put his secretary actually
had a guy
stepped in. No, stepped in as president, and then Edsel Ford was the vice president.
There you go.
And he formed Dearborn Realty and Construction in 1919.
No kidding.
Yeah, and the sole purpose was to sell these houses, right? So
wow. So that would be the equation of Ford land today, right?
Yeah. So each house included a living room, dining room, 3 bedrooms. Some of the later ones had 4 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a porch.
Interesting.
That was it.
Any statement of who the worker? Was it any worker could buy these? I'm sure they had some kind of affordability, rentability to them. He probably built a bunch and then rented them all out, or
they were available to everybody, right? But they had 312 lots that the real estate company bought. They built these houses. They were by the Michigan Central Railroad tracks, so essentially like by military.
Yeah,
and the houses were designed by an architect at Ford, Albert Wood. So he had his car architect, design the actual. But
well, back then though, you got to remember most of the car was built out of wood. So,
and so 6 different models, and that was they built them on the streets. Edison, Francis, Gregory, Beach, and Military, and prices ranged. How much you think they costed? $75 to rent per month to rent, and that was expensive. How much you think these houses?
Not 3,000, 4,000, 9,000, maybe 3,000.
So pick one.
3,000.
3,000. Okay, so they were between $6,750 and $7,750, and then they raised to $8,750 and $9,000. So you're about your first $9,000 was about right.
Wow, that isn't cheap either for back then.
So
your factory worker was not probably one of the guys that are buying this thing.
Yeah, and he 6% of the total cost of the house for the first 5 years. That's what they had to pay.
Oh, now it becomes affordable. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was nice.
Yeah, and so that was kind of cool. But yeah, that was interesting.
Didn't they pay taxes down in Dearborn for like the longest time too? Like all property taxes were paid by Ford.
It's it could be in the article, but I'm not going to read that much.
Yeah,
but those are Those
but how cool though, man! Like someone listen, you know how we almost always will say the modern day Ford is Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, equate it. Everything he's touching, he's creating an industry for.
Innovative.
Space,
yes.
cars, computers. He was even. Quite frankly, if you think about it. He's in also finance, right? Because he created PayPal.
PayPal, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and that was his first venture.
It's changed the way that, money is transferred, in a sense.
He basically made it so that if you think about it, you do not need to go to the bank.
And now it sounds like he's trying to do that with Twitter, to make Twitter a almost substitute for PayPal. So that would be kind of interesting, huh?
What do you mean?
So you could make payments through Twitter. Yeah. So it would be the same type of deal.
So it'd be like a Venmo through Twitter.
Yeah. So it would be all encompassing, right?
Here we go.
Yeah.
But again, he's the modern day Henry Ford, right? And just think how wealthy Elon Musk is.
Or Ben Franklin, right? If you want to go back that far.
Let's just keep this as a 2-man analogy. You start throwing all these names at me. I can't pull that much history in my head. You know that I can't keep all those facts straight.
I can print it out for you.
No. Yeah. And we got a real nice jazzy printer too. We passed by it earlier on the way into the thing.
For sure.
I know they said they were having issues with it, but here's my thing. No, he's the modern day Elon Musk. Think about how wealthy Elon Musk is.
Elon Musk is the modern day Henry Ford.
is the modern day Henry Ford.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. Sorry. But go back to the Henry Ford days. This is the guy that's, the guy. No, I'm serious. He's the guy that's making all the decisions. He's creating companies every day that, because he was the first one basically attacked for monopolization.
Well, I think
they created the law to stop him from getting any wealthier, basically.
Yeah. So he is taking like Henry Ford would need supplies. So he would create a factory that made those supplies.
Absolutely.
Right.
Smart guy.
What he needed, whatever he needed, he would
didn't even let his waste go to waste.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about that earlier. Like, our big thing is, efficiencies, right?
Yeah.
And simplicities of life, right? The things that make life simple, right? Be courteous, make things simple,
Oh, yeah.
Try not to aggravate people, don't add on extra stress. Don't do things that are going to make people, more nervous. Drink some more coffee, all those good things. But this guy didn't even let his waste go to waste.
Yeah.
He created charcoal from wood scraps from making his tires. I mean, come on.
Cool
But this is going back like before that was even common sense stuff. That was just him looking at it as capitalization. He made money on it.
I think that was generational too. That generation, like,
they didn't care about waste.
Well,
back then
they did not throw things away. I don't know. Like, I remember you go through, especially a lot of the houses in Dearborn. What do you find? You go in the basement, you find cigar boxes full of old screws, right? Things were not thrown away. Things were kept.
Sure.
Yeah. So they were reused. They weren't just like, okay, well, I'll just buy more. Everything was kept, reused, just in case.
And so going back to your furnace conversation,
yes,
right? Coming full circle, you look at these things and you say, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This furnace was built in 1950.
I was
and
amazed
it is
by
kicking heat today.
Yeah, with probably a couple minor updates.
Okay, but again, the I'm sure you cannot find parts for these things. And if you can, it's got to be a selected few people that can even work on them. My guess would be no one would give you
I'm sure everybody that comes in says, well, you just need to replace it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we had that, right? I mean, on the other house, we had them come up and say right during the inspection, got to change the furnace. Why? It works.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not efficient. We didn't sell an efficient furnace. We just sold the house with a furnace.
Yeah.
I mean, the misconception is most people think, well, that's what we run into every day, right? The misconception is people think you got to have everything new in order for it to be right.
Yes.
And the answer to that is actually you don't, because there are some things that were built to last. We don't know what the efficiency is. We're not used to that stuff. Yeah, we're not used to that.
We're used to a new phone every 2 years.
Well, look at what we do now. We judge repairs based on rebuying new. We have friends in the industry. They'll even tell you, "Oh, man, it's just not Bob. It's not worth fixing this. Just go buy a new one."
For sure,
right?
For sure.
And that's just cost. Not to say you can't fix it, but they just tell you it's not worth fixing it. Just go buy a new one.
What is it normally? If the repairs are over 50% of the value of a new one, then you should buy a new one, right?
I don't know. Is that
that's
the
a
rule?
General rule of thumb? Yeah.
So we're dropping the rule.
That's the rule. Yes.
So for those you didn't know, if it costs more than 50%,
you should just invest in a new one.
Boom, mic drop.
That's it.
Buy Mike.
That's what I hear from everybody. From all the vendors that we have.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk to them usually more than I do when it comes to that. But yeah, so that's it, right? So 50% of the car or the cost of a repair, go buy a new. That's our thing. That's what we do.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what our modern day civilization, and especially here in the US, that's what we do.
And I feel like it's even
And then
less
we
than
wonder
that.
why I knew that was going to happen, so I apologize, guys. I literally was trying to shut this volume down as we were.
Who's calling you?
It was actually our guy, Michael.
Okay.
So Michael is doing some things for us out there. So
some repair work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was probably calling just to say they're done and let us know we're good.
We should ask Michael about the furnaces, but we'll do that another time.
Yeah, we'll have Michael come on one day and talk.
So anything fun for the weekend planned?
No, not that I can think of.
No,
actually, I think we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have a spring cleaning. We're supposed to have decent weather.
I think it
And then
didn't
I
change
think
to a
it
wintry
changed.
mix.
Well, that's
Yeah,
today.
That's today. Okay.
But I think the weekend was supposed to equate. Well, so I guess
You never know.
Yeah, you just never
Yeah.
know. We're in Michigan, so you don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, listen, today was supposed to be a 60-degree day. That I know. It's supposed to be like 66 degrees today on Monday.
Hmm.
And then everything switched. It was nice yesterday instead of today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we were supposed to have a decent Thursday, Friday. Now we got some crazy storm coming.
I don't know.
But it's supposed to be north of us. It's not really. We're not really supposed to be affected by it. It's supposed to be like in the middle of the state. They're going to get hammered up to 7 inches or something like that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So,
Okay. All right.
What about you? Anything?
I'm just watching some soccer games. I have bowling. my co-ed bowling league on Saturday night.
Can you make sure you don't throw a hip at bowling?
Try not to hurt myself.
Yeah, don't get an injury.
Yeah. And then that's about it.
Marco does have soccer. I think he has some showcase stuff this weekend, so he'll be out playing in front of some coaches from different universities. So that'll be kind of fun.
Okay, that's good, exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. So he'll be excited to do that this weekend. He always gets fired up for that. So
cool. Sounds good.
All right, man. Well, I think we're good here. We got a bunch of stuff to do today. We got a million appointments, a bunch of stuff to do. So I think what we should do is wrap it up. Hit it.
All right. Okay. Oh man. So what's going? Everything's kind of delayed today. I don't know what's going on with our soundboard and.
You've kept things going and on and off, and things are blinking, and who knows?
Thanks, everybody.
Lock it up.